Okay, guys, welcome back. Let's continue The Novelist. What was this called? Full House? This is the episode where Dan becomes obsessed with a 90s sitcom and stops writing his novel, I think, just based on the title. Guy, probably not expecting to hear from me, were you? You know I'm all about surprises. Look, we're going to head up the coast next weekend. We're doing the drive from LA to Seattle. I have an interview up there on Tuesday, and Kelly has a friend who's going to introduce her to some casting people from Vancouver. Can we crash at your place on the way up? We should be pulling through next Friday. I was thinking we could use it as an excuse to jam on our books. I want to see your new stuff, and I have a draft I want you to take a look at. I'm way beyond knowing what's good or not with my work, so I could really use your advice. And you know I'll give it to you straight about your new book. Is there a title yet? Could be an impromptu writer's workshop, I guess. Anyway, I think it'd be fun. Let me know. That does sound like fun. Wait. Oh! Different lights! Different lights are on! Oh! That's super interesting. So I need to learn a new level setup in every chapter now. Okay, Dan is obviously in the office because it's click, 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 click. And now he's obviously not anymore. He wants to have a friend over to watch TV. That is how I interpret that. She's thinking about something that's 45 minutes away. That's the same thing, it's always... Mommy said Daddy's just busy, which is true. Daddy's busy. Hope they're okay. Oh, there's stuff in the kitchen. Honey. I'm sorry it's been so long since my last letter, but we've been all over the place. Have you gotten settled into that big house yet? I hope getting away from everything has been a help for you and Dan. I'm writing because, speaking of getting away, your father and I are going to take a road trip. I found some good AARP deals, and with your father only working part-time, it wasn't very hard to arrange time off. It's been too long since our last trip. I've always enjoyed changes of scenery, and as you're hopefully learning, it can be just the thing a marriage needs. Yeah. Lord knows it's helped us. The trip won't take us close enough to the shore to come visit, I'm sorry to say, and if you'll write back, we'll be gone before your letter arrives. We'll call if one of our motels has long distance, but if we don't get a chance to call, send my love to Dan and Thomas. You know your father and I want the best for you all. So, okay, send my love to Dan and Thomas. So this is Linda's mom. Got it. My strategy after I read something is just to, like, hit the nearest lamp that I can. I read that.
Going good.
Dan is lying down. Oh, he's not thinking about anything. Got it.
It'll be a little crowded.
Alright, memory time, memory time. I'm really getting to know this space very well because it's not very big. And there's an element of sort of searching out each of these memories. I think the memories... Is that a shadow? Yeah, that's a shadow. I thought that was a weird stain on the rug. One of the things that these memories do is force me to explore the house in a way that Like, I could conceivably kind of camp to just, well, no, I guess that's not true. I don't know. There's a freedom to being able to walk around the house rather than just zipping from light to light that I find an interesting variation, I guess, is really what it is. Like, it's nice to switch up my mode of interacting with the environment.
I thought Tommy was sleeping with us.
I thought what?
I thought Tommy was sleeping with us.
I thought Tommy was sleeping with us because we need the bedroom.
I'm checking to see if this is a fold-out.
Got it. Okay. She's probably up in her room, right? She's usually journaling up in her room. Nope, she's just standing right here.
Just got back from the co-op. Tuesdays are pretty much my favorite day of the week now. Today, Monica showed me some brush techniques for blending my tones more evenly. She really is amazing. I can't believe how much she can get done in a week. I'm not sure I could keep up that pace even if I could do nothing but paint every day. Going in is always a little bittersweet, though. I can't help but think about how great it would be to go 2 or maybe even 3 days a week. But it means a lot that Dan's giving up his time to help me out with this. I know he's trying as hard as he can.
I have this feeling... Well, I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing. Okay. Can I do anything with that journal?
Good
I can.
news. Mom called today with a change of plans. They made better time on the first leg of the trip than they expected, and they're coming to visit. Bad news, they want to come this weekend. Did Dan tell Tynan they could stay here for sure, or is that still up in the air? I'll ask after dinner. She sounded cheerful enough on the phone, though I can't help wondering if they took this trip because they hit another rough patch. Hope not. I hope they just want to see Tommy and have a classic Mears family feast, though maybe seeing how they've ended up will be good perspective for Dan and me. Speaking of which, Dad better not get nosy. I've told him 1,000,000 times that my marriage is not his business. Maybe I'll try the thing Christine told me. When someone asks you something private, just say, "Why do you ask?" Put it back on them and see if they've actually got a reason to get into your business. Yeah, I've got to remember to try that. We'll see how he answers that one.
Interesting. It's, I'm trying to figure out how much this kind of backstory humanizes some of the characters that we're less attached to. Forget that sweater from Mom and Dad. We should let Tommy have... Forget that sweater. Wait, so is choosing the sweater forgetting the sweater? I'm confused by that. But perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I'll figure something out. Tommy, are you thinking about things while you're watching TV? You are. Can I get out of this lamp? There we go.
Can Davy sleep over?
Let me call his mommy.
Okay, so somehow Tommy made a friend, despite the fact that we never give him any leeway. Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay, alright. That's, wow. That's... okay. That's not just Dad is distant. That's, Dad gets angry sometimes. Does that get explained more? Or is that just a, like, that's supposed to be I don't know what to make of that. Okay, obviously he wants Davy to come over, spend the night. I can't get to that light.
Can't wait for him to get here.
Whew! I don't know if that was close or not. It's hard to tell. Did Tommy go in there? Where's Tommy? Did Tommy go into his room and close the door?
Huh?
Oh shit. Whoops. He totally did. Okay.
Hiya, how's it going?
Going good.
Okay, so I think that I screwed up. Dan. I'm gonna try not to screw up Linda here too.
What about Tommy?
You can sleep with us.
So, okay, the situation that I'm getting is that her parents and his friend all want to come and stay this weekend. And they've only got the 2 bedrooms. So... and Tommy also wants to have Davy over. So everybody wants to have people over. I don't know how the bedrooms are gonna... Except that, like, Can't Tommy have Davy over regardless, and they'll sleep in the living room? And then, it's... The problem is... Oh, maybe because that's a pull-out couch. So somebody could sleep down here. So, okay. So Dan's friend could sleep down here, and Linda's parents could sleep in the bedroom. Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
The ad ran today. Picked up the latest issue in town. I don't know if it'll amount to anything sales-wise, but that's not the point. I'd forgotten how scary it was to put your work out there and promise something to people, and that brought it all into focus. It's so different thinking about the book as something I eventually have to sell people, not just something I'm working on for myself. But now it's out there. It's terrifying and irreversible. People know about the book, and to them it's exactly what they want it to be. Some finished, beautiful thing. If only they could see it right now. A bunch of jigsaw pieces on the floor. And I've got to put them all together.
Okay. Good. I didn't fuck that up. Okay, so here's what my choices are. I think, can I read his mind now? Need to make a backup. Yeah, you do. Holy shit, have you not done that? Oh my god. Okay.
You want to take a break later?
That sounds fantastic. Yeah.
That was almost some real conversation. That was better than most of the stuff that we've seen. Alright. I don't know where the blue blanket is, but I bet I could find it. She cares about a sweater. Linda cares about a sweater. I'm not sure why. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, but it doesn't matter because the mechanics of the game are very, very clear, right? Like, whatever she's thinking about suggests choosing her. And I know what choosing her means, so I don't need to care about what the sweater is. I do agree about the fresh set of eyes. But I actually think that maybe I can't choose Dan because he saw me. And I'm missing some artifact. Maybe it's something in the office, but of course he's going into the office. I looked at that, I'm pretty sure. I think that I'm missing something. Possibly, possibly I can't read his thoughts because he saw me. Like, I can't get a blue thing out of him because he saw me.
Everything going okay?
Good.
It's going good. I read that. I looked at that. I read this. There's never anything in this bathroom. Oh, here's something. Check sofa, call Chamber of Commerce, hotels in town, double check T&K trip when Dan gets back. What about now? Where's Dan? Nope. Still need something else. Those magazines have been moved.
I took Tynan up on the book.
Here we
chain.
go.
He hasn't seen a word of my new book, and fresh eyes are priceless. He bailed me out on Tramer's Way. I hope he understands how much of that book worked because of him. I still remember when we were walking to the pond, and he had the idea about using newspaper clips and police reports. Of course, no matter how many times I tell interviewers it was his idea, they just keep giving me the credit. Maybe they just want the tidy auteur version. Oh well, can't change that. Let's just hope he has an idea for this one too. Friday can't get here soon enough.
Okay, I find this choice really, really interesting because in general, I'm much more tempted to give this to Tommy than any of the previous things. It just seems like I don't know. I mean, yeah, he should totally be able to have a friend stay over. Like, that seems like a great idea to me. Linda and her parents. Here's the I think I would. I think my instinct is to give it to Tommy and compromise with Dan, because, and part of that I feel like is very much me as somebody who does creative work, feeling like, yeah, that kind of interaction with somebody else, the kind of like impromptu writer's retreat that they're talking about is absolutely invaluable. Would be really, really good for him, you know, creatively, if not even specifically for the novel, but I think the game would make it help the novel as well. I don't think I can compromise with him because I screwed up the stealth. So probably going to compromise with Linda, which is fine because I gave Tommy a lot, or because I have given Dan a lot of attention. So, okay, wait. Can I get a blue word out of him now? Fishing poles. He wants to go fishing. Got it. Now I'm actually super curious. It makes me confirm before I do anything. Can I choose Dan as my main and compromise with someone else? I could do that. I am not going to do that though. That seems like super selfish of Dan. Closest one's 45 minutes away. Closest what? Is she's thinking about hotels? Whatever. They're not talking to me anymore. I know blankets. Tommy's blankets. Is that the blanket, maybe? He wants to stay up late and watch westerns. Isn't that cute? Hey, see, there's a picture of him and his dad playing board games. Tommy, can you... Oh, wait, can I do that?
Ooh, it's messed up.
I'm gonna choose this. Choosing it. Chosen. So part of this is me as a player wanting to maintain some kind of a balance between the three people, because I think that that's what the game wants me to do. Ultimately, I'm guessing that the idea, the values of the game will be that maintaining a balance is important. Could be wrong, but that's my instinct. That's what I think. And this is like one of the most reasonable things that I felt, that like I really want to give Tommy this. I still don't feel especially compelled by Tommy as a character, but okay, Claire Bradford again, 1961. I realize now that it isn't about Roger. It's about me. I have to decide who I want to be. Marrying Roger will set so many things in motion. We'll be a well-to-do couple, safe and secure, with wonderful friends and loving families. I may slowly fade into being Roger's wife instead of Claire, but that will be society's doing, not Roger's. He loves me too much to do that. Interesting. But what about my music? If I'm accepted at Berkeley, I don't know what we'll do. I can't ask him to quit his job a month after he starts. But what kind of couple lives in separate cities as soon as they get married? Oh god, both of those things seem reasonable to me, but it's not 1961 anymore, so... The decision can't be this black and white, can it? Position and safety versus a crazy pursuit alone? Is there a way to have it all? Do I even want it all? Will I ruin everything no matter what I choose? Maybe everything will be great no matter what you choose, Claire. Maybe you're just cursed to have a great life no matter what. Did you ever think about that? Okay, there's got to be another journal around here somewhere. But not in here. Alright, maybe it was back downstairs. Did I just miss it? There is never anything in this bathroom. That's so weird. I don't know if I can read anything into her paintings. It seems a little dark, right? Like just two shadowy figures. There's been two journals in pretty much every other scene. But I don't see a second journal. So maybe there's just one. Oh, there it is. Diary of Claire Bradford, September 8th, 1961. Roger and I talked everything over today. Good! And it was a mistake to speak so soon. Oh, was it? I never should have brought any of this up without making up my mind first. Now I've only made things more difficult. I guess I was daydreaming, and he asked me what was on my mind, and before I could help it, it just came out, although maybe I wanted to get it off my chest. I told him I wasn't sure it was the right time to get married, and it upset him badly. It upset him badly. It did not upset him bodily. It didn't matter how many times I told him that I wasn't calling it off, that I just had questions, that I hadn't made up my mind either way. All he heard was that I didn't love him anymore, which isn't true at all, but it didn't matter how many times I said that either. He's gone off for a drive, and now I'm here at the house alone, and I think I've made up my mind. I hope he gets back soon so I can tell him. Way to leave us in suspense, Claire. Interesting. This is super interesting. I feel like I don't really know how to relate to these characters as well as I can relate to the modern family, because so much of what Claire is talking about is based on social pressures in a time that I am not familiar with. Like I didn't live through 1961, and I know a lot of these things academically that were different, but I mean, it seems like if Roger can't handle just having this conversation, that's a red flag to me. But maybe societal expectations were different in the 60s, and that's not a fair judgment for me to sort of put on a person or a relationship from that time. Makes me wonder what kind of research they did in writing these historical scenarios, and if they're based in any way on actual writings from the time or people, or if they're entirely fabricated. I don't know. I think that's interesting. Maybe that's something that is documented somewhere in postmortem or interviews or something. Dev diary. Okay, so what did I want to do? I want to see if I can do the fishing poles. I don't think I can, but it'll ask me to confirm regardless. Oh no, it will totally let me do it. So Dan didn't quite see me. I managed to skedaddle quickly out of Dan's way. Okay, so this gets harder then, because I have to actually make a choice. Seems like very clearly to me a choice between the relationship and the book. Again, because I'm thinking about things very much from Dan's perspective. I'm not thinking about things from Linda's perspective, because then there's a whole thing of she wants to see her mom and make sure that she's okay, but she's a little anxious about seeing her dad because they have a little bit of a weird relationship. But it seems like from Dan's perspective, this is about either giving him the opportunity to see, her parents going through potentially struggles and surviving it, and how they do that, how they cope, versus getting to hang out with his writer friend, which seems so irresponsible, right? Like, it seems like I want to hang out with my writer friend, except I think it really, really would be good for his book. Like, this is just me thinking that kind of company would be really, really good for his process. I think I care more about Linda's career than her family, than her extended family, than her parents, who, by the way, weren't planning on coming. Right? Like, this happened last minute. I think I'm gonna choose Dan. I feel a little weird about it, but not... This is a strange chapter, because I don't feel like I desperately want all of these things. It's more, these all seem like pretty good ideas. Whereas some of the other choices have been between I only have enough resources to do one or two things, and the options that I have are really important. None of these seem terribly important, which I think is why I chose Tommy, because Tommy never seems important. And this time, everything was brought down to Tommy's level a little bit. I don't know. I feel so weird. Can I whisper to Linda? No, I can't. Okay. Let's see how this turns out. I think it's going to turn out predictably. Tommy's going to be real happy. Dan knew how important it was for Tommy to play with friends his age, so he grabbed the sheets and gave Tommy a few tips on the finer points of structural engineering and sofa fort construction. When Davy came over, the two boys stayed up watching TV and eating ice cream far past their bedtimes, laughing and playing until they ran out of steam and passed out in their fort. That sounds great. Good job, Tommy. Well done, Dan. We're still inside the house. Tynan and Kelly were surprised to find that they weren't the only guests that weekend, but they were still glad to have a place to stay. Dan and Tynan didn't get as much time to work on their books as they wanted, although they did trade a handful of high-level ideas. And apparently they went fishing. Linda never thought she'd be upset about not wearing the hideous sweater her parents had given her last Christmas. Oh! But she found herself eyeing it sadly. When her mother called and Linda had to break the news, she heard a hitch in her mother's voice that worried her. She tried to find out if her parents were okay, but her mother made a comment about how the long-distance call costs and cut the conversation short. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's too bad, but I also don't feel like that's entirely Linda's responsibility. Linda and Tommy were getting worried about Danny, who had become an alcoholic and was snowed into the Stanley Hotel. Really? I made a lot of comparisons to The Shining in the first episode because the premise so obviously evokes The Shining. Are we really going to get into an alcoholic episode? Is that what the bottle is? We'll find out when we come back. I'm going to take a short break, and then we will play the last bit of The Novelist. Yeah, I'll see you all in just a minute.